On to the next, we have the importance of UI UX design. Now, the first one we have enhanced user satisfaction. A well-designed UI UX leads to positive user experience, resulting in increased satisfaction and loyalty, right? Also, we have competitive advantage. In today's competitive market, a good UI UX design sets products apart and attracts more users. Some products that have a little deficiencies get to fall out of the market, where there is an alternative product that beats that demand that was not met by the previous product. Let's say you make a product and then sending messages via the product, let's say a social media application, and then sending messages in a product takes 5 minutes before it delivers, and then there's another product that takes just 2 minutes to deliver messages. That becomes a competitive advantage. It becomes a competitive advantage. The product that has the most effective time of 2 minutes before it delivers a message begins to stand out, and then you the product with 5 minutes sending time, 5 minutes delivery time, begin to fall out of the market. Why? Because there's another product that beats its standards, right? So UI UX design is a study that allows you to research on other product that meets a higher demand than what you have in place. So then it gives you room for improvement, right? I'm sure nobody will want to create a product and then there's another product that is same as yours, offering a better value and then making more waves than yours, and then you wouldn't want to go back to the drawing board and then fix things up. Now, this is why UI UX design is very important, right? So increased engagement. Intuitive and user-friendly interfaces encourage users to engage more with the product, leading to higher retention rates, right? If your product is user-friendly, it allows people to stay in the app comfortably, and then they just get to spend their whole day, and then they're not tired of using your product. Why? Because it's user-friendly. Like, everything they need to do is just in front of them. For instance, let's take the Instagram application or the Instagram website. The moment you open the website, everything you are seeing the image, you need to make a comment, you're seeing everything is just in front of you, and below the image you want to make those contributions to. Let's say you want to add a like, you want to add a comment, or you want to share. All the buttons are just in front of you, so it's easy and it's user friendly because they don't need to press a special menu tab for them to see a list of options saying, okay, do you want to share, do you want to like? No, that's quite too complex of a user flow for them. But then the moment they are seeing everything, all the action buttons in front of them, they are moved, and they want to you get to capture them with a higher retention. You get to capture them in a higher retention, right? They want to continue with your product, they want to continue relating with your product because it is easy to use, and then maybe it might be colorful, and then it's user friendly. They just enjoy the smoothness of the design and the buttons that you used in your design, right? So also you have reduced costs. Investing in UI UX design upfront can save cost in the long run by reducing the needs for redesign and addressing usability issues early. Now, you see, the whole process of UI UX design allows you to carry out research, to get user feedback in the point of testing and in point of prototyping and testing, so you get to know what your users want before you eventually deploy the application or the web or the mobile application. You get to know what your users want. Now, let's say you do not employ a UI UX designer, you just employ a developer out there to work on a product. Now, they just go do their thing, build the product, and then they ship it, and then there's no room for you to test, and then you just go and you go about and you launch your product, and then after launch, you've spent money launching the product. You now start getting reviews from client that, oh, this is a challenge for me, I can't upload an image, I can't send messages and all of that. And then you have to go start working on those corrections again, but then you spend money to upload or to push your product to Google Play or App Store. You spent money, but then going back means you have to either pull down the application you've uploaded, or then keep pushing updates into the application right in the hosting website or the hosting platform. It could be App Store, it could be Google Play Store, but then it will save you cost to hire a UI UX designer to work on your product, rather than just moving ahead with the product on the development, and then you just come up with something that users can't really interact with, right? So brand perception, UI UX design influences how users perceive a brand, contributing to brand loyalty and advocacy. Why? Because UI UX designer, we're not just interested in building the product. We are careful about the colors that are used, the positioning of the colors, and what all of these are to promote the brand, to help users perceive a brand with their design. Because UI UX designers get to create a flow or a color psychology that makes potential users or maybe new users to identify with the product that, oh, we've had this product before, or we've come across this product before, or this style of arrangement before. For instance, everybody knows how WhatsApp displays, right? Or most persons, I don't know if everybody knows, but most person knows how a WhatsApp chat interface looks like. And then when we see another app that looks exactly like the interface of WhatsApp, we'll first perceive the brand to be a chatting application. Why? Because it carries the style of a chatting app, right? So UI UX designers help users to perceive a brand correctly, perceive the usefulness of a brand correctly. And then you see, I spoke of loyalty, the brand loyalty and advocacy. It means people could see your brand, and then they would be able to tell that, oh, your brand is the one that your brand was the first to begin a certain trend or style of design, and then they would refer to you first, to your brand first. When they see something similar outside, it will be like, oh wow, I've seen this style of design before, it's used by so brand. So they are loyal to your, it means people become loyal to your own brand, because the UI UX designer had created a style or a template design that everyone has now become familiar with when they picture your brand. Now, up to the next, we have overview of UI UX design principles. Now, the first is consistency, which is to maintain consistent design elements and patterns throughout the interface to reduce cognitive load and improve usability. Now, when we speak of consistency, it means you need to be consistent with the shapes you use, consistent with the text, consistent with the text size, the font size, and all of that. Now we get to see that in the next slide. This is what consistency simply means, right? You see, for instance, we get to some website, you see there is the logo, and then there's the text which states the name of the brand, and then there's a description on that, right? And then you see the same pattern. There's a box covering it, and then the same pattern you see there's another box, and then there's a logo inside, there's a name, and then this is the pattern that it follows all through. So this helps to reduce cognitive load, so you don't have to stress yourself. What you just need to do is to duplicate the box and then keep changing the logos, keep changing the text, and then it's following a consistent pattern. Do you get that? Now the next is simplicity. Keep the interface simple and intuitive, avoiding unnecessary complexity and clutter. Now let me show you. Now this is the example of simplicity. This is a login page, and then you see there's no form of clutter anywhere. There is spacing. You have your text. You have your text well spaced out. You have your icons well spaced out. The names and the form well spaced out. And then this is just simple, and this is just straight to the point. You come as a user, you know what to do here. You just have to fill in your username and then your password, and then you are good to go, right? So the next we have clarity, which ensures that information and actions are clear and understandable, guiding users towards their goals, right? So a user should be able to come to these points of login, and then they know that this is a form for them to fill. They have to fill in their email here and their password, and then the login button is pointing them to to proceed to sign in upon filling in their details. Do you understand? So feedback, provide feedback to users for their actions, indicating whether their interactions were successful or not. For instance, when you successfully sign in into an app, you should users should get a feedback on the app showing successfully signed in. Or let's say you send a message, and then users should get a prompt in saying message sent successfully. Right? Those are examples of feedbacks that you could incorporate into your product. Now, hierarchy. Use visual hierarchy to prioritize important elements and guide users' attention, right? So now, for instance, this page is an example of a page that has a visual hierarchy. When you open this page at first, the first place you want to look at is the left-hand side, which has the bolder text here, which is the topic, the subtopic, the overview of UI UX design principles, right? And then you followed next is the body of the page, which has a smaller text. So because the text here is bigger, your eyes want to see this first, right? So this is what is meant by visual hierarchy. You could use it in text, you could use it in image, you could use it for shapes, and so on. So you have accessibility. Design products to be accessible to users to all abilities, considering factors like color contrast, font size, and keyboard navigation. Now, so that's that for that. Now this is an example of what a wireframe. So this is how a typical wireframe looks like. You have an example of a hierarchy. You see the text here is bigger, and then you have smaller text. While you bring them close because you want the user's eye to focus on the heading first before seeing the content. Same here also. You have a bigger text and then a much more smaller text, and then look at other examples of interactable elements you could find on the design. Here you have a button, start now, so that is an interactive design. And then here you have a hamburger showing you a place where you could click, and then so that's that for that, and we're good to go.